Wow, Manchester United 2, Manchester City 1. What a win. My voice is gone. The game kind of had everything in the second half. How'd you sum that up?
What a game. What a game. Battle of the Baldies, we've got the better one. Pep, he came out, he said he's got some ridiculous ideas, nice tactics. Didn't work, did it? Flopped, failed, mess.
Yeah, I mean, look, everyone's going to talk about that first goal that we scored at the equaliser, saying that it shouldn't have counted and stuff like that. I've seen it back. Yeah, okay, cool, you ride your luck. That's for them to give the decisions, not for us. But the belief in the team to stay in the game, okay, to manufacture the goal that, okay, maybe shouldn't have stood but did. But then it's 1-1, you still got to go again. Garnacho off the bench, massive impact on the game.
Oh, Garnacho was brilliant. He came on. Look, Rashford looked done at half-time. When he went down injured, the rest of that half, he couldn't move, he could barely run, couldn't press anything. He came out second half. He was probably still injured, but that comes from up there, somewhere. He's a Manchester lad. He wanted to run. He wanted to do everything for the team. He kept closing down. Whether it's Ederson, whether it's the centre-backs, whoever it is, he kept going. You could split that game down into different periods. That first half hour, where we won that was Erik Ten Hag's organisation. It was incredible.
Yes.
You split the game into periods. That first half an hour was tactical organisation, fantastic.
What did we do well in that first half?
Well, we did well. One of the most important things, the way we press, we've said this so many times, we set up with a front three that sort of opposes the opposition's keeper and centre-backs. That's the idea. Normally, they sort of press from sort of the outside, from the inside out to sort of get pressure on the centre-backs as early as possible. And then if the ball goes out, we go back and try and recover. This time, today, we know that the way City play, they'd want to play through the middle. So what we did, when the wingers were pressing their centre-backs, we went from the outside in. So you'd always see, when the ball goes out to Akanji, Rashford would be going from the outside back in to cut off that pass to Kyle Walker first, force them back into the middle. And in the middle, we had Christian Eriksen, Fred, we had Casemiro. They were tight on their men. They didn't give them anything. When Haaland dropped deep, Shaw or Varane followed them.
Varane, I saw that Varane was going right in on Haaland, who
every time
barely touched the ball. I probably must have had about 5 touches the whole game.
Every time, that pressing in the first half, that first half hour was absolutely brilliant. We showed them exactly where we wanted them to play in that central area, because we knew with Fred's energy we'd be right on top of them. Casemiro's in the right place all the time. So that organisation from Ten Hag was fantastic.
So that was a deliberate ploy, because at half time, like Erik Ten Hag said, we created a couple of chances. You know, Rashford rounds Ederson, another one where he's clean through, takes a heavy touch. Bruno with like a cross shot, half pass, half shot. The nearly moments came from us in the first half. We did kind of create, and City were very comfortable. We didn't really do anything, but they didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
But like you saying, you felt that was because tactically we were so astute and we knew exactly what we wanted to do.
100%. That first half hour, we controlled the game. We didn't have the ball, but they played exactly where we wanted them to play. They didn't create anything really. The only chance, they only had one shot on target that entire game. In that first half hour, that was brilliant tactically. The next 15 minutes of that half, it drifted a little bit. It was still okay. They didn't create too much. Intensity sort of dropped from both teams. Came out after half time. And to be fair, start of the second half, we weren't as good. We weren't sort of on top of things. We weren't sort of proactive, as Ten Hag would say. We sort of let them play. It was far too easy. But then after that, we had the first half an hour tactical period of brilliant organisation. Second sort of half hour, 15 minutes either side of half time, we slipped. We weren't quite on it. We reacted, but we got through it. Only conceded one. You're still in the game.
And after that, there's no capitulation. Talk to me about the mentality after conceding one, because City are a team that if you let them get 1-0 up, usually the chances are they go on to win the game or they score another one at least. And we didn't do that. We managed to stay in the game. And I know the goal, yes, there's going to be question marks about the offside, etc., etc. But in terms of forcing the issue, how do you break that down for us?
Look, that comes from in here, it comes from up here. Every single one of them. After we went down, the sort of from 60 minutes to the end of the game, everything into it. Absolutely everything. I thought we were done. I thought Marcus Rashford was done, but he's somehow dug out some incredible effort to just go close everything down, running behind constantly, cause all sorts of problems. Garnacho's come on, he's been positive.
Talk to me about the impact of him. Again, every time, whether he starts or whether he comes off the bench, Garnacho finds a way to impact the game, and he gets another assist today.
Yeah, I mean, look, as far as the game moves on in terms of more and more technical players, you can never have any substitute for raw pace. And Garnacho's got that and incredible ability in tight spaces. He's going to cause everyone problems. Kyle Walker against Marcus Rashford, you know, Walker probably backs himself because Rashford's not quite as quick in tight spaces with his feet at times. But Garnacho against him, he can go either way, go inside, outside. And you can see what he did for the goal. He's cut around him. It was right in front of me. Sort of got inside on his right, just turned around quickly. Walker didn't expect it, got it across to Rashford. But look, that goal from Rashford a year ago, 18 months ago, he's not making that movement.
Scrappy ones, yeah.
He's just standing still.
Box, yeah.
He's not anticipating Garnacho getting around his man and getting across his man. Every little aspect of that is fantastic. And look, I can't not mention Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Is he just different now? What? He has been unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I can't criticise the guy. I've been his biggest critic, but he's come back. He's turned it all around. That one you were talking about earlier, where the ball's come down, he just flicked it with the outside of his foot, and he knows exactly where it's going. What is going on? Yeah. Everything he does is brilliant. Even after half time, I think obviously Martial must have been injured because he did some hold up wise.
Like I said, he took him off because of an injury.
Yeah, he did some good stuff hold up wise, and pressing wise, he may not have been the most aggressive in terms of pressing Ederson, but that wasn't him as much as people like to say he's lazy. That was the game plan. If you press Ederson, you're going to get drawn out of play, because drawn out of position, they're going to play through you. But Martial was good. It was unfortunate he came off, but Anthony did well. The one thing I do want to say, first half, when we won the ball back, even though we were sitting a little bit deeper, controlling the space, the 1 and 2 touch passing
was good.
Get out of their press every time, draw them in, bang, 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 bang.
There was one in our left hand. I think Malacia started it. He wins the ball back. Then it gets to Eriksen. He gets on a half turn, and someone pings it out to, is it Rashford? And then Rashford tries a long ball, and then Eriksen can't quite get there. But it started from Malacia at left back, and I remember that passage of play. I have to ask you this before I ask you man of the match.
Yeah.
Can we be in a title race? Are we in a title race, or is it too early and you're just taking game by game?
We're in the title race.
We are?
We're in the title race.
Why are we in the title race?
Because we're one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah.
We are one of the best teams, not just in England, in the world right now. There's not many teams that can come here and expect to get a result. Like today, City are one of the best teams. They have been for 5-6 seasons. They played well we want them to play. They had one shot on target. There's been plenty of games against City over the last few years where they've created chance after chance after chance. We've been hanging on. They played well we wanted them to play. When we wanted to have the ball, when we got on the ball, 1 and 2 touch stuff, we broke through them. We controlled it defensively. When we had longer periods of possession, we looked like we were threatening. We looked like we were going to create something. And look, this is with a team that, it's okay. Ten Hag's made a few signings. Give us 6 months, a year. Get Frankie de Jong in for Christian Eriksen. Whoever, a couple more brilliant signings. This team is going to be one of the best in the world. We are back.
Who was your man of the match?
There's so many. Look, Wan-Bissaka was brilliant. Martial was really good first half. Bruno, fantastic again, but I've got to give it again to Marcus Rashford. Just, even though it wasn't the most impact he's had in the game, finding that within himself after he was injured to come back and do what he did second half, get on the score sheet, make those runs, close everything down, especially when you 1-0 down to City. It's a tough ask. You know they can keep the ball, have 80% possession if they want to. We were on top of them. We closed everything down. That came from within, and for that, Marcus Rashford, it has to be.
Actually, sorry, before you go, what did you make of Luke Shaw playing left centre-back again? Because that was a massive call. We saw some big calls today. Playing Malacia at left-back after he had a torrid time against Phil Foden in the first game, I remember that.
Yeah.
Choosing to leave Martinez on the bench, and play Luke Shaw left centre-back, that was a big situation there. Putting Fred in there instead of having Bruno, Eriksen, Casemiro. There was some big choices there from Erik ten Hag. How do you think Luke Shaw did, though?
I think he was brilliant, and I think that was always going to happen, because if Martinez wasn't ready in this sort of game, you can't afford any disadvantage when you've got the ball. Luke Shaw having that left foot gives us different angles in possession. He's been brilliant in possession in recent weeks. He had to play, and he was fantastic. And with Malacia, yes, he struggled in previous games, but we know when City do go out wide, they tend to slow things down with the wingers. They're not direct, they don't attack straight away. Mahrez or Foden tend to sort of stop the ball, get the head up. Malacia can get out in that time, and as long as he's tenacious, he'll normally be okay. He did well. Look, every call Ten Hag made today, spot on again. What a man, what a team.
Let's go.